Alrighty, this is Pastor Jeff once again for In the News, April 26, 2013. And the headline that I'm reporting is Israel urges U.S. action over Syrian chemical weapons. Now, this is an old story. But this one here is written just recently. And it's from Ian Johnston, staff writer at NBC News. The United States faces a test of its resolve after Syria's apparent use of chemical weapons crossed a red line set by President Barack Obama, an Israeli government official said on Friday, adding to a growing choir of calls for tougher action against Bashar Assad's regime. Now, it's all of these things here are troubling in itself. Just understanding what's going on over in Syria without the chemical weapons. But the idea of chemical weapons is extremely dangerous because they can come in from any way. Just any way you can possibly, bring it in, by airborne, by water contamination. There's all kinds of applications for this kind of weaponry, and it's basically undetected until it's too late. And this is obviously Israel's concern, is that they can get involved with, attacks against Israel. They're surrounded by people over there. And that would be troubling to me. So Mr. Obama, I'm hoping, will actually, do what he's supposed to do correctly. Israel's Deputy Foreign Minister, Zev Alkin, a confidant of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, said the world powers may now conclude that there was no avoiding action to take control of Assad's chemical stockpile. I agree. The UK Prime Minister David Cameron also said Friday there was limited but growing evidence that chemical weapons had been used in Syria, probably by the regime. Now, what really troubles me, and I'm sure it troubles you as well, is it's almost like people have these little blinders on. They're terrified to come against any government that is backed by Muslims, the Islamic countries. They're terrified to offend them because they're just troubling people. And if you're supposed to be a world leader, and you're supposed to be an advocate for, freedom and humanity and all this other kind of stuff, then do it. All right? Then do it. Don't just play behind words and say, well, it could be or it might be. The evidence is right there in front of us. And, and you know what, this is what really gets me, is that we're sending millions of dollars over to Syria, and are you honestly thinking that all of this money is going toward the rebels? Anybody? I didn't think so. We're not that foolish, are we? But the whole mindset here about what we should do as a nation, or what the leadership of America should do, it's very terrifying that they just don't do it. What's wrong with people today just just going ahead and taking care of business? Why has everything got to be so back and forth, back and forth? Just take care of the business. Just do what you're supposed to do. Do what you have been elected to do. Do it. Stop playing around. Israel is our ally. We are supporting Israel. And we as Christians, we need to stand in the gap for the. I'm not talking about, raising crazy, I'm talking about where, you and I as people, as beloved to Israel, we need to, again, this is what we need to do. This right here. We need to set up a standard, let people see that we're quietly making a demonstration as Christians. We're not screaming, we're not hollering, we're not calling everybody names. We're doing what we're supposed to do as believers and saying, look, America is in distress. And as the American people see these symbols, they may get offended at first, which is understandable. But eventually they're going to realize, hey, okay, why are you doing this? Okay, now is a perfect opportunity for you and I to stand up and say, all right, we'll tell you exactly why, right? And then you open up the door to talk to them like regular people. You don't have to, try to convert them. You can just talk to them as Christians. What a novel idea, huh? All right. Anyway, I'll give you the link. It's let me see here. Oh, it's too long to really get in there, but I'll put it in the Facebook or page or whatever. I know. So anyway, this is Pastor Jeff signing off for In the News. Until next story.